Well, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, and good morning, everybody. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to another episode of The Morning Glow. Welcome to another episode of The Morning Glow. Got a great broadcast lineup for you today. You know what it is. This is Black Friday. This is Black Friday. This is the day where you become the boss. You are the boss, and you call in and you tell us what you got going on with your business. If you want to go into business, if you have an event or whatever you got going on, all you have to do is give us a call 678-381-1973. 678-381-1973. Give us a call and we will talk about your business, your event, or whatever you got on and talk about it in its entirety. We will talk about it in its entirety. But right now, I got to do some introductions, some hellos, and some all these good things that we do in the morning. And ladies are always first. So, Anna, good morning, young lady. How you doing this morning?
I'm real good. I tried the whole Zoom thing that you guys were talking about yesterday with my closest family, of course, my parents and my siblings, due to some personal things that are going on within my family. Anyways, that was the funnest hour and 15 minutes that we've had. By the time I noticed, they were all like like everybody was getting quiet and they were getting bored. I said, okay, we'll try this again next week for an hour. I'll see you guys next Thursday at 8:00. Okay.
There you go.
So yes, it was really, really good. So I recommend that everyone tries that out.
Exactly.
So, with any type of family. So please try that out. That's all.
Yeah, and see that's the thing right there, man. I'm gonna tell you something. We did it Wednesday night, man, and I had a blast. We still talking about it, and we're talking about doing it again. Now we're not gonna do it every week. We're gonna do it once a month. You know, we can't deal with each other every week. We can't deal with each other every week. We deal with each other once a month. What happened last month? What you do from the last 30 days? We do it, but that once a week now.
You know what though? That's not that bad. Some families it's like once a year, once every 6 months.
We're gonna go once a month. If y'all want to do it outside of that, I'm not gonna be there. Y'all go ahead and enjoy yourself. Tawanda, good morning, young lady. How you doing this morning?
Good morning. Good morning.
We got her back with us. We had some technical glitches last week, but we got her back this week. We you ain't getting no 2 weeks off in a row. We ain't going for that. No, we ain't going for that. But Tawanda, tell them Black Friday. Tell them a little bit about Black Friday and what's the whole idea and the concept behind Black Friday.
Black Friday is this business opportunity for Black entrepreneurs to come on to promote and endorse their business for free. Doesn't cost anything. And it's broadcast every week to 58, right? 58?
58, yep. 58 countries. Yes. Good deal. Now, and see that's a good thing. And that price, you can't beat that price, Leonard. Leonard, you can't beat free. Free, or unless you get 3.5.
I want the half.
I like 3.5. I never heard that before. I'm using that one. 3.5. I like that.
Give me credit for it, Dad. It's my book on that 3.5. They'll give you 3.5.
I give you credit the first time.
That? What happened the third time?
I don't know about that.
That's
negotiable.
There you go. There you go. One of the things I this right here came across my table, y'all, and I need y'all to help these people. I mean, these folks sometimes they don't understand what it is, Leonard. Sometimes they don't understand, and I'm gonna tell you what it is. Hold on for a minute. Let me say good morning to Chris. Chris, good morning, young lady. How you doing this morning?
Good morning, guys. How are y'all?
Good morning, Christy.
You know, this is Black Friday. We talk everything business today. And what we get into, Chris, I'm gonna ask this question because people come to me, man, and they say they want to start a business. I'm trying to okay, there we go, got it. They want to start a business, they want to go into business, but they don't know how to do it, don't know the things that they need. What are some of the things that a person needs in order to start an effective business, Leonard? Is the only thing they need is money?
Well, you know, I think we talked about. You got a little feedback. I mean, I think I know we talked about it before. You got to have some skills. And it's just difference. It's not that saying you can't have an effective business without skills. It's just that you have to take that money and hire someone with skills. Because their business is not as easy as some people may think it is. Because especially if it don't go as well as you think it would.
Yeah. Exactly.
It's a difference between a business that's immediate, like you got some type of hit product or food item or something like that. However, a basic business, you have to learn your market. You have to make sure you focusing on the people that actually need your product. And I'm realizing now that a lot of people don't have that particular knowledge. And that's how I was able to start my consulting business many years ago, is by being learning about businesses and items, because the way you think about it, my clients, I have to cater to whatever it is that they are trying to do. So usually I get an idea in the raw, right? And try to help people implement that business idea. And I would say you have to have the passion, because the passion will keep you in the business.
Yes.
Get through the low parts. And people love the business when it's going great. But you have to learn how to manage the low parts of business.
And that's the part that falls through the gap, and why a lot of businesses sometimes just don't make it. Tawanda, what do you say to that? Is money the only thing that you need when you're going into business? Is that all you need? Is that all the supplies and everything? What else do you need?
You need a whole bunch of stuff. You don't only need money. You need drive. You need the right attitude. You need motivation. You need a whole bunch of stuff to help you out on your journey. Unless you're going to pay for all that additional stuff with money, but you need some motivation, and you need some patience, and you need the same way that you would nurture a child is the same way that you would nurture your business.
Now, and that's good, and that's one of the things you definitely need. But look, let me go to I'm doing 3 or 4 different things. Y'all bear with me for a second this morning. I'm trying to get myself settled here. But Christy, I don't need all that stuff. Only thing I need is money. Only thing I need is money. And I go out there, I only know how to do it. If I'm gonna do this business right here, I go out there, get me 4 or 5 people that know how to do the business, and I just sit back and just count the money. Is that a good idea?
No. In anything that you do, I have to I want to say, Anna, I always send these motivational videos, and I watch them, and I love. If you look at Motivation 15, one thing that I learned about that is that you have to fail often and fail forward. You cannot be afraid of failure, because failure is how you learn. I used to be afraid of failure. And starting a business or starting anything, you have to be prepared to fail at some point. You have to be prepared to fail. And if you're afraid of failure, if you fear failure, then you're not going to make it in the business world. You're going to need more than just money. It's just like the sister was saying, you're going to have passion. You're going to have drive. You're going to have motivation. You're going to have people in your corner that's going to tell you, okay, you can do it, because it's going to be some points that you want to give up. It's going to be at some point that you're going to be like, you know what, I'm tired. This ain't working. I'm putting more energy into this and more money into this than I thought I was going to have to put into this. And so you do have to have knowledge of the business world, because the business world is a different entity than just regular world. That's why I had the own title of his own, Corporate America. It is totally a whole different horse of another color. And you have to be willing to learn it. Their morals and their values and the things that they believe in, the things that you have to do is different than what you normally would do if you were just an average citizen. So you have to have some tough skin, because it's going to be, you can't think everybody your friend. You can't think that you can hire your friends. You can't think that your friend's going to have your back. You're not going to, it's people out there that you just have to let go. So, starting a business is more than just an idea, and it's more than just money, and it's more than just, just that. You have to have a lot into it. And I would say you have to have a love for Christ, because if you don't love Christ, you're going to go flip on some people.
Yo, Lord. Let me go to Anna. Let me ask you this question. I ain't worried about all that stuff. I'm going to the business. I have enough. Anna, I think Anna might be froze over there. Anna, you froze? Look, I think I have enough family and enough friends to make my business work. I got enough people that's gonna come and support me. I don't need to worry about all them other people that I don't know. I got enough family and friends that's gonna support me and keep me going. Anna, what do you say to that? I think Anna might be frozen. Oh, she's coming into a different window. That's cool. Leonard, what do you say to that before Anna gets here? What do you say to that?
I say great. Go right ahead. I mean, sometimes that's a great way to learn.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you just jump out there and start doing things, you know, a lot of people do it.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, you must have an excellent product.
Yeah.
To be successful. But one, you know, you can bump your head and learn a few times.
So do you think they're setting themselves up, Leonard, to bump their head if they have that idea and say, look here, I got enough family, I got enough friends, they gonna keep me going for years.
But maybe they have to learn on their own too.
Mm-hmm.
You know, some people don't believe nothing you tell them.
Yeah. Yeah.
So like I tell a lot of people that I have a great idea. Okay, let's see if it's just an idea.
Mm-hmm.
Because if it's just an idea, it ain't gonna work.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people have ideas. Does someone else have your great idea as well, and they running the same business down the street?
Mm-hmm.
You know, so a great idea is only worth what you plan around it. You know.
Yeah. Yeah. Tawana, what do you say to that? They have this idea. They say, well, look here, I got enough family, I got enough friends, I got enough to keep my business going. I don't need to worry about all them other people. If they come, good. If they don't, I ain't worried about it because I got enough family and friends that's gonna keep me going. Tawana, what kind of idea is that?
It's a good luck idea. I mean, I think it's something that everybody does, and people don't realize that 95% of your business, your customers are not going to be your family or friends.
Mm-hmm.
they just, you know, for whatever reason, they typically don't support or endorse your business. So that's just the wrong approach to go. But like Leonard said, everyone has to learn on their own, at their own time and their own pace.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Now, Anna, truth of the matter, do your family, your friends always support you when you go in business?
Absolutely not. They're the first ones to be like, no, I don't see it. I don't see you doing that. I don't see it succeeding. Mm-hmm. That's why I send you guys those motivational videos. And I'm glad that somebody actually listens to it, because don't let anybody tell you you can't do it. But then again, don't hire a whole team around you that you think is going to be running your business for you. Do your studying, educate yourselves, and, you know, don't wish for the best. Do the best and be the best at what you do.
Mm-hmm. That's good. That's good. Kristen, what do you say to that?
Yeah, I'm on a computer today, so I'm having to work these buttons and this mute thing.
Mm-hmm.
I absolutely agree. If you don't have motivation, determination, and your family and friends are going to be the main ones who talk about you, who don't support you, who going, you know, I hate to be the one, and y'all know I'm going to tell the truth. You know, we have some crawfish syndromes around here.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and if you don't understand what the crawfish syndrome, I need you to Google it. Google is your friend. But crawfish syndrome is basically when a crawfish see another crawfish crawling out the pail, it's gonna pull it right back down in the bucket.
Mm-hmm.
Because and that's why you can have a bucket full of crawfish wide open, and you have to worry about not one of them coming out.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So our families and our friends, you know, in the Bible say the greatest of your own is that of your own household. Your greatest fold is that of your own household.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're going into business thinking that your family is the only people that's going to support you, you might as well go back to the drawing board. But like I said, fail often, fail forward.
Mm-hmm.
So that failure will help you understand and see, like, you know what, I need to do something different. You know, we've all been there, and I'm quite sure Raheem, Anna, and Leonard, you all failed at some point, and the reason why that you are so great now is because you learn from those failures. And that's one of the motivation things that I learned. And even in starting a business or doing anything, going to school or picking a career, this can be for anything that you decide to do in your life. Do not be afraid of failure. Do not be afraid, because you can have a 99 no's and one yes will set you for life. So that's just it. Like, but you can't depend on family either in any of those instances, because sometimes families hold you back. Sometimes families stop you. Oh, you stupid, you can't do that. Where'd you get that from? Oh, you just like your mama, you ignorant. I mean, or you look like your daddy, you ain't gonna be able to do that, you know. And we shoot down people's dreams and hopes. I still believe I can be the next Beyonce, and I'm not gonna let anybody tell me that I can't sing like Beyonce. So, you know.
Yeah. 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 Okay. Leonard. Now
I see. Wait a minute. I see you, Leonard. I like them Saints.
Those Saints.
now, Leonard, we're talking about failing in business. How often is it when a person get into business? They go into business to be successful. They go into business because they want to win. They go into business because they want to make money and do the things that you do in business. Has that failure the first time stopped a lot of people from coming back in, going back in and starting all over again, dust themselves off and keep motivating? Has that failure stopped and halted a lot of people?
Yes, I mean, a lot of times once you start and something may happen and then you realize you have to regroup and try it again. I think most people in business will tell you it's very important in order to be successful is that you have the ability to adapt, because you never know. If it depends on what field you're in or what it is that you're pursuing. If you thought it was going to happen today and it didn't, did you have a plan for a week or 2 weeks or 3 weeks? You know, or did you spend all your money up front? Was your business plan take everything you have, put it into business, and hope somebody buy? You know, a lot of that happens, and a lot of times, you know, I think one of the biggest things for me is I love like toys, electronics, and if nothing else, I'm gonna buy all the office equipment I can. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so you go out and you spend all that money. And then you realize you may have to wait to recoup that investment. Can you wait that long? Or can you keep the doors open that long? Have you thought about, you know, especially in this climate, people will understand the importance of having a virtual face to your business. I remember when folks didn't have websites, you know, and they did not have these tools to use to tell people about your business. And you was always, you know, most business people are always selling themselves.
Yeah.
You know, passing out business cards or something like that. And when I actually stopped doing the business that I was in, it kind of went down to a referral only type of business. You know, to where it's important to be able to control your business as much as possible. So it should keep you from making rash decisions. We know that money will limit you, right? But if money's no limit, you will tend to waste the money.
Yeah.
Before I mean, I was me and a friend of mine were going to buy this theater, and the way it happened was the father had bought the business for his sons. His sons had no skills on running a business. So what happened? He put a lock on it and left it. Okay. So you go in there and you see everything look like they were there yesterday. Because obviously they were making no money. The father couldn't tolerate it and he closed it. And that's what happened to a lot of folks, especially when you have monies to pay back and things of that nature. Say, for instance, if you're going to the bank to borrow money, do you have employees? Do you have monthly costs for your business, your overhead costs? Do you, like, say, for instance, one of the consulting I was doing Hurricane Katrina, and them rebuilding New Orleans. And a lot of contractors and what have you really did not think twice about the inflation of oil, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So at that point in time, gas went up extremely. So most of those businesses had to stop because they couldn't even afford the gas to run the trucks and things that they needed. Because the variable cost of that oil and gas for the run those trucks went so high, it wasn't in their budgets. It's like, for instance, if you notice construction sites around in your neighborhoods and things like that, where they're building things, and all of a sudden, all building stops. A lot of times, that's a cash flow issue.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Tawanda, let me ask you the question. And a lot of times sometimes people look at it, sometimes they don't. But if you start a brand new business, Tawanda, and you want to market to everybody, you want everybody to come in. Is it important, or should you get a face of that business that maybe don't look like you?
It depends on who your target market is. It just depends on what you're selling. I tell people week after week, specifically Black business owners, that we can't market to everyone. We have to do target marketing, so we have to see who our demographic of people that we want to market to. No one should be mass marketing. We don't have a budget to mass market. People like Amazon and Walmart and people like they can afford to mass market because they can afford to spend $1 million in commercials and ads. We unfortunately can't do that. So instead of trying to reach everyone, our focus needs to be who our targeted audience is. Who are we trying to have to buy our products, and we need to reach out to them directly through sales instead of trying to reach the majority of the people, and 95% of those people don't want your product. So we need to do the reverse of mass market and target market, which would mean that you would know specifically before you want to market who you're marketing to, what they look like, where they shop at, what they're watching on TV. That's who you want to get in front of.
Now, Christy, do we trust each other in our community enough to support each other?
I'm gonna say, I don't think it's a trust thing. If we trust, I think we just don't support each other out of ignorance. Thinking that someone else's product may be better because of who they are, or they're just not us. I loved on Facebook in our community, we have a page, or we have someone that's keeping up with all the Black-owned businesses to support. One thing that we have to remember, that when there's a Black-owned business, we expect to get something for free, or we expect to get something at a highly discounted rate. We don't want to pay. We stingy. We don't want to pay for stuff. We feel like if I know you, that I should get a free thing. Just like I'm getting some work done on my house, and it's a good friend of mine, almost like a brother to me, that's gonna do some work for me. And he was shocked that I was like, I'm going to pay you. Like, I don't want you to do it for free. He was like, he just kind of was baffled because, so many times when we feel like we know someone that has a craft or have a business, that we should get it for free or discounted. So I think we have that mentality. I don't think it's a distrust. It's just that, well, if I'm gonna pay you this, I might as well go to such and such place and pay that, because we just not good supporters of our community, and that's shown not even only in business, but we're not good supporters of our own community, or our own things that's going on. When so it truffles down into the businesses. Like I said, we don't support our community, we don't vote, we don't go in to get the right elected officials to do what we need for our community. Our roads are bad. Our houses are bad. Our neighborhood looks like crap while theirs keep growing and looking nice and flourishing. So if we can't support our own community, we definitely can't support our own businesses.
Mm-hmm. Anna, what do you say to that?
Christy, you hit it right on the nail. And as Puerto Rican, I can say the same. It's the same thing. Like if they're not getting discounts or whatever, and Raheem, I'm not sure if I've dealt with Leonard on a personal basis, but Kurt I have, and Christy I've never dealt with on a business level. But I'm the same as Christy. I don't want stuff for free. I mean, I do want stuff for free. Now, if I'm getting it free and it's fair and square, like a winning contest, I'm calling. I want free. But if you're doing some work in my home, you're doing some work in my vehicle, you're whatever the case may be, you're doing clothes for me. I put up a post the other day, and I said, if it's somebody local who does clothes, get back with me. They tagged 3 or 4 people. Out of those 3 or 4 people, one got with me. I sent them an idea of how I like to sport my clothes, right? So I can support somebody, locally. Do you know that I ain't heard nothing from that person, no prices or nothing? So if you're not getting back with me, or if you're thinking, well, maybe she's going to think the prices are too high, then you're thinking wrong, because maybe, I could tell you, well, that's not the price I was looking at. That's what we're talking about, business, stuff like that. I put a post for that, and I put a post for something else, because I try to locally support people all the time. I don't like the home cooked meals. I'd rather go to a restaurant, which I'm not doing because of COVID-19, but I'd rather go to a restaurant that do the home cooked meal, just because I don't know what you got in your house ain't my house. So, but even if so, I support all businesses if at all possible. I met people that if you're doing work in their house, okay, the lawn person, you can get them for $60 on an acre. An acre is a lot of yard, okay, for $60 for somebody who is an immigrant, okay? That's all I'm going to say. But I'm going to turn around and I'm going to, if I have to, pay the $120 for my whole yard to get done, because it has nothing to do whether you're an immigrant or not. It's because what I would pay anybody else. See what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And I don't like it when people do that. And I think you're taking advantage, especially when it's an immigrant, because you ain't getting that cheaper nowhere else.
Mm-hmm. Now let's go back to the question I asked Leonard. Is it important? And good morning, Curtis. How you doing this morning, sir?
Hey, morning, bro.
Good morning. How you doing? Good to come right back to you, Leonard. I want to ask you this question, man. We talk about the face of the business. About the face of the business, man. If you're starting a new business and knowing how certain individuals think, do you think it's important to the spokesperson for that business be somebody, Leonard, that don't look like you? Hold on, Leonard. We can't hear you. Hold on. There you go. Go ahead.
It really depends. If that's your strategy, that's your strategy.
Mm-hmm.
But you have to realize once you do that, you lose control of the face of your business.
Mm-hmm.
So it's I've heard of a lot of people that do that, mm-hmm. I guess, but it's not something that I would suggest unless that's what your market was.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I don't understand why well, I understand it, but it's only should be used when you do not desire to be associated with your business.
Mm.
Okay. Now you call it your business,
mm-hmm.
but if no one knows who you are or whatever, you have to remember that's how you do business.
Mm-hmm.
So if ever, you get into a situation, that could be the last day of your business.
Let me ask you this. If somebody does that, is making the money more of an issue to them, just making the money, or being able to run the business and have, it may not matter to some people that
right.
This is my business. It may not matter to them. What matters to them is just my business is making money.
Right. If that's your marketing strategy and that's what's going to work for you, great. But like I say, at that point, you are putting a false example of your business up. So you have to stay in that mode, because if you switch, a lot of times you'll lose your business.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you're doing it because I'm trying to think for a reason other than great marketing, you're probably going to fail.
Yeah.
Because if you're marketing, people will consider that completely dishonest.
Yeah. Yeah.
In some cases, you know, like, first of all, you know, you've had some instances where it was important to be a Black-owned business. You know, we've seen how if someone was attacking Black-owned businesses or not, that made a difference. The sign you had in the window back in the day. Okay, so if it's a strategy and it's not done out of spite, I wish I had a better word. If you're doing it out of spite, there's probably going to be a problem.
Yeah.
If you're doing it because of a negative self-image or anything like that, there's probably going to be a problem. But if it's simply based on marketing to a customer that looks like the person and acts like the person and can make folks feel as if they're a part of what you're doing, and make them feel like supporting you, then sure, because that's what business is about, making money.
Yeah. Yeah. Good deal. Kurt, what do you say to that, man? You know, this is Black Friday. We're talking about business. And if you go into business, Kurt, you're starting a brand new business. Is there a reason why you would have somebody as the face of your business that goes out on all your media, everything that goes out that don't look like you? Is there a reason why you would do that?
Well, if you pay attention to what's going on, it's starting to look like that's what you're going to have to do. I just watched the movie The Banker last week. I don't know if y'all seen it yet. It's on Apple. It's on Apple TV. I want to say it's on regular Apple TV. So you don't have to like subscribe to like Disney or one of the other channels that's on Apple TV. And I just watched the movie The Banker, and it was a very sad movie, man. I mean, it was good, but it was sad because these two Black men came up with a concept to buy real estate, and because they were Black in Texas, I want to say, yeah, I think it was Texas, because they were Black in this town in Texas, they had to get a white man to act as if they had to teach him in 30 days how to do a real estate deal and this, that, and the third, and have him act as the front man, you know what I mean? And it was sad. Like these men actually went to prison. The federal government actually sent them to prison because they bought a business building in downtown. I want to say it was Galveston, but I could be wrong. But they bought a business building, which was the tallest building. The guy started out as a child. He used to clean shoes in front of the building. And he would listen to the realtors and everything, always talking business. So he wanted to go into business. And he wound up buying the building, but he had to use the white guy to be the front man. You know, when they approached him about business, they approached him about being involved, and he was getting paid, 50%, 50-50, but all at the same time. They made it known to him that, look, you cannot be up front, up at the forefront. So eventually he wound up buying a bank, and they, they snaked him out of the business, man, and sent him to prison, sent him and his partner to prison. It just, man, I might not be the right one to be talking about this right now, because this is just this.
Does it remind you slightly of the three Hebrew boys?
It's exactly that. It's exactly that, right? It is exactly. It's the three Hebrew boys. It's the three Hebrew boys before. Well, it's the three Hebrew boys during Jim Crow. Because place, I think, in the 1950s.
Wow.
I mean, but it's the guy, it's Samuel Jackson and the guy from the Iron Man, the one who I think they call him the Falcon. That black guy, but it's
powerful actors, man. Powerful actors. Let me do this. Let me go to Tawana. Tawana, what do you say to that, man? Is that a good idea to use somebody that don't look like you as the face of the business of the company?
Does it make sense to do that?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. It depends on what the business is. I think that it's something that's been ingrained into us that your business is too black, or it has a black name, or they don't want the black owner identified. And I think that would I ever do it? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. But I do have some business partners that you would never know who the business owner is. It works for some people. For me, I'm let you know from the door who I am and who I'm trying to market to. But it depends. It depends on the approach that you want. Is it a good idea? I don't know. I personally wouldn't do it myself, unless it was a need for me not to identify.
Hey,
but if you have products,
Tawana, let me ask you this. Tawana, let me ask you this: is could that be a good short-term goal, if you will, long-term, or should you get the business started with this person as the face, and then all of a sudden switch and flip it and try to curve it in another direction? Is that a good practice?
You should always have a plan from the door. Whatever you're going to do, you should have a plan from the door, because what people is unrealistic about is that plan from the door will probably take you a good 6 months to a year to get that going. People is under the misconception that I'm gonna start a business today and tomorrow I'm gonna have all these clients and these people, and it just doesn't work. It don't work like that. It just doesn't work like that. I don't care who you know, and unless you just know a lot of people that's willing to push money into your business because of who you are, that works. But from the door, I again personally think that the best benefit is to have a group of targeted audience that you want to promote to. But as far as that makes no sense to me. If I have a business that caters to specifically Black people, why would I want to pretend that I'm not an African American business owner? That makes zero sense to me. I mean, I understand why it's done, but I think people that do that sometimes don't need to do it, and they're only doing it because of what we've been taught. And like a lot of things, like I said, that we've been taught, we need to unlearn those things.
Good deal.
Also, go ahead.
No, go ahead, Leonard.
For example, I know a guy. He came to me to help him file some civil rights complaints. This guy had a very successful food eatery business in Augusta. And so one of the things about Augusta is when the Masters comes, business is, this guy was making money. Folks standing outside the door. Someone found out he was Black because he never represented really the face of his company. He was just really low key, just run the business in the back. They found out he was Black, run him right out of business. And he was doing major business during those times because that's where people go to golfing. All people play golf and all that go. And those are one of the times where you see where that happens. But see, that's a spiteful situation. You can run a business and have anyone for the face of your business. You know, that whole notion of face of your business needs to go away.
Mm-hmm.
The face of the business is great if it's a celebrity, but then that's just a celebrity supporting your business.
Mm-hmm.
The face of the business, if you're doing it to avoid people knowing your color,
Mm-hmm.
then those are the people that are more likely to have a problem.
Mm-hmm.
Because they're hiding something that's going to make them less effective.
Do you think they're devaluing themselves when they do that?
I mean, I don't want to make that type of judgment call. It's just not a great business decision if that part of your business is not completely strategic.
Mm-hmm.
If it's because you have some type of poor self-image, that's an issue.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you have a poor self-image, it's going to reflect in your business a lot of times.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I don't do what you would call black businesses. There is no black business. There's a black owned business. There's a business that caters to black customers. But what's the one thing you will realize is the reason why you don't see white people at predominantly black stores is because they choose not to shop there.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You can make the same choice.
Yeah.
You know, that's not the big deal. I'm more concerned about the products and when it comes to business, because that's how you make your money. And if you have something that people want and you're great at what you do, it does not matter what color you are.
That's you would think that, Leonard. You would think that, but my thing is,
for every one white person that don't want you, find 3 or 4 that do.
Mm-hmm. But see, my issue with that and why I have a problem with that is the example that you gave me earlier. When they found out that he was a black guy, mm-hmm. they ran him out of business, and they, because he was doing real good. I lived in Augusta for 2 years, and I know how Augusta is, especially when the Masters come.
Yeah,
man, there's hotels there in Augusta, Georgia. You can go get those hotels right now, $60 a night. $60 a night. Say $60. Man, doing the Masters, those same hotel rooms, they ain't done nothing different in them. $800-900 a night.
Yeah,
$800-900 a night. I promise you. If you call, if any one of you doing the Augusta, doing the Masters,
forget about it.
Call and ask hotel this thing right here. Say, I want to get a hotel. I want to get a room next week, whenever it is. I want to get a room. They'll tell you that room is $60. They said, well, now I'm gonna also be in town doing Masters. How much are your hotel? How much is the hotel room gonna be that night? I promise they're gonna tell you no less than $800 a night.
Right.
And you can't find a hotel room. You can't find it. People move out of their homes during the Masters and go to another city and rent their house out.
Yeah.
And almost pay for and pay the man. Look here, they coming off in Augusta. That's the only thing Augusta has. That's the only real thing that Augusta has, the Masters. But I'm gonna tell you something, they capitalize. Man, they sell the statues, $600-700 for a statue, a little smaller statue.
Right, Raheem. That's in any city that has a major event that's going on. Mm-hmm. I mean, I can promise you can get a hotel in New Orleans that average every day for nothing. But try to come during Mardi Gras or come during a Saints game or come.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But in any city that has a major event, they're going to capitalize. It's going to cost more for the hotels, for everything. When we go down for Mardi Gras or we go down for Bayou Classic, I promise you the amount of money that you pay for your hotels is going to be raised up. That's just what any business with business mind would do. And I wanted to hit back on what you said too. When Leonard, I think Leonard was talking, you have to understand everybody's morality is not the same. Mm-hmm. Some people are going to take money over morality. They'll make a dirty deal just because they can make the money. Mm-hmm. And then to comment on what Kirk was talking about, we can look out through our history, how they just stole our inventions, how they stole our music, how they just stole so many different things from us, our ideas, our companies. That's probably one story out of a million. And I can tell you, it's still going on today. It's us, and we'll start a business and it become unsuccessful, and someone could come in and buy that business for less than nothing, and then make it flourish. Mm-hmm. So we have to be more like I said, we have to be willing to fail. We have to be willing to understand and support our people, and we have to be out there and support. Now, the product, I'm like Leonard, if your product ain't good, I'm going to tell you, I don't like your product and I won't be back. If your attitude ain't right, because, we have some attitude problems about our stuff because we sensitive about our stuff.
Mm-hmm.
If I go to your restaurant and I eat your greens and they don't taste right, I'm going to tell you, no, I don't want that no more. It's just, it ain't good. Don't get mad at me because I don't like your stuff now.
Yeah. Now, let me ask you this. How often does this happen and a person have a change of heart? They come in, no, I want to be the face of my business. It's my business, my company. I want me or maybe one of my children to be the face of my business. They found out that it's not going as well. Somebody coming and making their approach to them. They say, look here, let me be the face of your business. I have a mass, people like me, people love me. I have the quote unquote, the look. I have the look that's going to make your business successful. 9 out of 10, how many people will take on that individual and let them be the face of that business? Yes.
But you shouldn't shift gears from your plan. And I see what you're saying. So is the face of this business totally different from what it started with?
It would be. It would be somebody. It would be somebody that look that don't come from either one of our communities, Black or brown community. This somebody.
See, I can't with you. See,
the level of pigmentation ain't the same.
See, if there was a plan to start it a certain way, if there was a plan set forward, so I'm going to give you guys an example. The community that my dad retired at, that I lived at from the time I was 15, I'm sure you guys have heard me say it before, Cocoa Beach, Melbourne, that area. There's a park called West Melbourne. And I've always felt that I had to go back and give to that community. And I am at one point. I made that promise. I see it. I'm going to do it. So you have about 6 fellas that decided to all go in and buy this building. But if you look at the whole street, it's dead, right? And we were just talking about this yesterday because I was like, man, you guys are like on my level business-wise. So when they go to buy this building, okay, it's at a decent rate because, of course, it's abandoned. But check this out. There was a loan on the building, which they have to pay back, which was a large lump sum that they, they were like, okay, we can work something out. But on top of it, there was almost $300,000 that was owed in taxes. So now you got to come up with all this money. It comes up to about close to $1 million. They're still trying to figure out a strategic way to buy this back because they want the money to stay within the community. You can't tell me that you're going to change the face because the face, I am the community. Everyone on this panel is the community. So we can sit back, rethink, especially if you're in there with a group of people, rethink how are we going to do this and buy this all and make this all work. Sometimes changing the face is just changing your sign. It doesn't necessarily need to be you. And sometimes you need to rethink them ribs she's talking about. You need to rethink how you're going to make them ribs to where the community, our community, especially because we like our food seasoned a certain way, is going to like them ribs and they're going to be good. And they're not going to be like other communities that don't cook like we cook. You know what I mean?
How in the world did we go from greens to ribs to all this food? Man, y'all trying to make food this morning. You wonder what's on your heart?
USA. That's what
she said, USA.
USA. It's really a tough situation for some people. And again, it depends on your business, who you're catering to. Like I said, I always talk about the Black Tech team that I am promoting with. And it's amazing that you can have $1 million ideas, and it's amazing when you go up to these Caucasian business owners and they're on board, and then they want to talk to, okay, well, who's your boss? And we're all bosses. So, once they find out that, okay, it's a all black tech team or it's an all black company, then their ideas might shift a little bit. But never ever, for once, will I hide my identity of who I am if I'm the owner and CEO. It just doesn't happen.
That's right.
You're gonna accept me and my blackness that I own a company and done professionally, or you're not. I think that they're so used to throwing numbers for one specific ideal that they had. We had these people was on board. They wanted to buy out the company. That's a whole nother issue within itself. And it offered a lot of money, and for a tech team to be offered, $7 million to buy out, it's a potential problem until they figure out who owns the company. So it's a toss up. It's some things that I would say that I'm who I am. I'm not going to try to hide who I am for business. But then, some other business things that, if you don't have to be identified, you don't have to be identified. It just depends on who you're trying to target and who you're trying to market to. And I'm not saying have the most ghettoist approach to it, because you probably won't get support. But then again, you have to also realize that, you can be a black-owned company and black people still might not support and endorse you. It's just a common ground that you have to weigh out. Are you specifically for the black community, or you have products and services that cater to everyone? When I tell customers who are planning their business, we do talk about names and we do talk about an effect that it may potentially have on their business. But it just depends on how you see your company, who you are promoting and endorsing to. It's just a toss up. It's just a toss up because sometimes you have to be real careful. I got into it on Facebook probably about sometime last week, specifically because everything that I do, from news, I cater to us, and for the missing kids, I specifically cater to us. It's not only for African Americans, but that's the main focus. And it gets a lot of heat from Caucasian people. I get a lot of angry messages saying that, because I have this white problem, you don't cater to that problem. And I've never not catered to a person because of their race. I cater to a person that needs the help the most.
Exactly. Let me ask you this question, and Chris, coming to you next. Is it a value system? Is it a value system or a lack of value that they place on us, that they would rather see the example that you told earlier? They would rather see somebody that don't look like us as the head of that company. Is it a value system or the lack of value for us in that?
Well, they're racist. Why would they support you? That doesn't make sense. That's why, because you have to look at it that way. I mean, people may say, that ain't right. It ain't got to be right. You must drop that notion when it comes to certain things, because the reason why you're talking about, this conversation you're having is because of racism. That's different than business. You, like I say, you can the most successful businesses, I believe, that I would say smaller businesses that are patronized by white folks is Southern food. If you go to a Southern food restaurant, you see white folk all over the place.
Yeah,
because they know that's where to come to get the best product. A black-owned soul food restaurant. So these types of businesses do very well because of this, how specific that product is. So they'll patronize you there. But one, it makes
so you're saying country cooking with Sister Sue ain't the same?
Who is Sister Sue?
Or okay, Sister Becky.
Man, I ain't never seen one. They don't do it. I mean, I've never seen a white soul food restaurant, really. Yeah. I've seen, you know what? Yes, I have. I shouldn't say that. But black folks in the kitchen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because you have a lot of Southern restaurants where black folks worked in those kitchens and the owners were white. Mm-hmm. They run the register, the black folks in the back in the kitchen. This is how because soon you change that, you're going to go out of business.
They don't trust you around their money.
It's their business.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's not like they some huge business. They got one location usually, one or two locations maybe.
Mm-hmm.
But those white-owned businesses that serve soul food have black people cooking in the kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to understand those are different dynamics that deal with racism. But it's excellent for that product because that's where you go to get soul food. Black soul food is the product. Mm-hmm. Can you do that well? I don't care if your face is Chinese or if it's white or whatever. Black soul food is usually cooked by black people. So even if you have a white-owned business, you got to go hire black people to cook the food.
Mm-hmm. Why you keep doing like eating a burger? Black soul. You keep doing like eating a burger. What's this for, man?
I don't know. I think I'm doing something with my. I usually be doing something with my hands.
Okay.
But that's the difference, I think, and like Tawanda was saying.
Mm-hmm.
If you're upset about what she's doing, it's not for you. Go somewhere else.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't like what she's producing, why are you still there? Mm-hmm. Now you have those different motives. Like, say, for instance, some people, you may have great food, but the restaurant itself is horrible.
Mm-hmm.
But then they have some people whose food is so good, you would go stand in line in front of a shack.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Which a lot of great food businesses.
That's where it come from.
Be really like these really shacks.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
One thing that I usually talk to you notice with black businesses is the rate of investment. Because with black people, once you get something successful, you usually keep doing that.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
You never upgrade.
Mm-hmm. Ain't no need to change. If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
You got areas making plenty of money in neighborhoods. Say, for instance, a bar, and every generation of your family been to it, and it looks the same 40 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Or folks now, why would you open up a coffee shop and don't have internet?
Mm-hmm.
Because you're not looking for individuals that desire internet in your coffee place. But that's huge.
Oh yeah.
A coffee place.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So, even like downtown around universities, these cyber cafes and things like that. Mm-hmm. It's because they have to make sure that they're catering to the customer.
Mm-hmm.
Because one, I would tell anybody, if you go into a business with that mindset, you're automatically limiting yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You want to make your product as open as possible for anybody that wants it.
Exactly.
Now, you can't get mad because white folk don't shop with you. You have to come up with a marketing plan that attracts them instead of sitting around being mad because they're not patronizing your business. A lot of times black people will say, well, they don't patronize my businesses. Why should they patronize your business?
Why we ain't never had no black Chinese restaurant where we sell hog maw style rice? Pork chop.
You know what? I wouldn't even say that. It doesn't shock me. Because if you're good at that, do that business. As crazy as it seems. There are people that make money selling pig ear sandwiches.
Almighty.
And that's where people go because they known for pig ear sandwiches.
They gotta be down in New Orleans somewhere.
No.
It's popular.
Mm-hmm. No, do you guys know that in Puerto Rico, this is true, that Chinese people actually have Puerto Rican restaurants?
Yes.
They done made their business there and they make more money than the actual Puerto Ricans with their homegrown restaurants.
And that's not just in Puerto Rico.
I will take pictures when I take a trip over there.
That's right in Baton Rouge. That's right in everywhere where they got the market, especially, say, for instance, if you don't understand what culture does. Vietnamese have a culture that is a lot like the Cajun culture. as far as food is concerned. So there's a whole market of what they call Viet Cajun. And this is one chef who makes a lot of money doing that, catering to that change. But if you go to a lot of restaurants, say for instance, and you in Winfield, right, Christy? I believe Christy is in Winfield, Louisiana somewhere. But if you go to cities like Baton Rouge, if you go to cities like Baton Rouge and stuff, unless you go to the more famous restaurants,
Mm-hmm.
the Vietnamese sell everything to us.
Mm.
Okay? Ain't nobody black doing crawfish no more, shrimp. And if you go to Tony Chachery, I mean, not Tony Chachery's, my fault. Tony's on Plank Road. White folk own Tony. But that line is black.
You hear me?
Because they have to cater to who's supporting them.
Mm-hmm.
See, it's not about that much about race as important about how to make money.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what white folks are learning is we got to have black faces.
Mm-hmm.
Because of how racism works, it's not so easy quantified in reverse.
On Papa John's, not Papa John's, but what's the chicken place? What's that chicken place? Name some chicken places, Leonard.
I don't Popeyes.
Popeyes. Who owns Popeyes?
I have the slightest idea. I don't.
I
Really
hope they're black because they're.
I don't think they are.
So
no,
good.
I don't believe they are.
They are, but they got the face of Popeyes is that black lady that they say is out of they say she out of New Orleans, but she actually from Atlanta. She actually
Yeah, she does a great job for them.
Yeah. But she's the face though. Is that Christy? Is that like kind of reverse? Is that a reverse of what we're talking about right now? Because they're using her as the face. She do all the commercials. She's that spokesperson. But the company itself, if anybody has time to look, the company is not black-owned company. It's not.
And it don't have to be.
But that's called being smart. That's a smart business mind. That's a smart platform. Like if I want to reach, I mean, your face is not somebody that can take your business because the business is not in their name. You know, now you have laws and stuff now that protects a business name. But having a face is that I think Popeyes was smart as heck to do that because Popeyes generated in New Orleans, and so the Popeyes, everything that it is Southern soul food. So why wouldn't you have a Cajun woman wherever she come from? That's just like on I look at a show right now, All American. The lead guy in All American he is not a thug for real. He from England. I mean, good day, man. You know, but he's an actor and he shows us what we want to see. But before I go, I want to say this one thing. If anybody want to understand business and how hard it is, I need you to look at Acrimony by Tyler Perry. If you haven't seen Acrimony, I need you to watch it. Because Acrimony talks about how this young man and he marries this lady and he has an invention that he made. It took him years and a whole lot of money to develop this idea. And it's awful that it took so long for it to get, but then you look at it, his wife's sister and their husband had a business as well, driving trucks of food. So it's a really a good movie about business. It has a lot of action in it. I mean, you know, love story too. But in it, the man could not sell his stuff and lost all the money that he had. He was on his last leg, then lost the house, then lost everything. He finally get a break to meet with the people and they want to sell him. They say, okay, look, we're going to buy your stuff for $10,000 and you leave it here and let my group come. You let my company work on it. He passed on that. He like, no, I'm not going to sell you out my idea. I worked on it. I'm the one, no, I don't one did this. I'm not selling it. And then eventually the company decided, you know what? We do need you. I mean, but it was years later after that. And he then got all the things that he wanted and stuff. And I feel like business is like that. You have to be in it for the longevity. You have to be in it when you done lost everything that you done had. You have to believe in yourself when no one else believed in you. His wife didn't believe in him. His wife had left him. You know, it was a hard time for him. He had rock bottom. So anytime anybody that want to start a business, I will tell you this: if you can't handle being rock bottom and really being using your skills to try to make it, then business is not for you. You keep working for somebody. Then you always have a paycheck, and you always have comfortability. You always have a thing that you can count on. But if you want to risk and you want to go out there and do a business, then you have to know that you have to be that person. Because rain, shine, sleet, or snow, you're gonna make this work. You don't care if you got $1 in the pocket and you got $500,000 debt. You're gonna try to make it work because you done failed, you done got up, you done failed, you done got up again. And if you don't have that mentality, whatever you have to do, and rebranding is important. I want to say this last thing: rebranding. I look at Tina Turner, how she had to rebrand from Ike. If you can't rebrand yourself when you come up against a wall, then business ain't for you. Go keep on working for somebody, because you're gonna have to rebrand yourself or your product. That's why all these products change their packaging. So I done seen Cheez-Its with Snap now. You know, things are changing, and they have to change to keep the interest of the people, not white people, not black people, not Chinese people, but people in general, because people are going to buy your product. And that's what Mr. Leonard was talking about. It don't matter who your face is. Your face or your advertising need to hit to where people will buy your product, period. That's all you care about. You don't care if they black, white, speckled, part, confetti, whatever color they are. You want them to buy in. And sometimes we have to do, in business, you do whatever you have to do to bring people to your company to buy your product. Now, that's where morality come in. Some people have morals. Some things they just not gonna do. But I can tell you, a pimp that's selling his product, he gonna make it look good. He gonna cover up the marks. He gonna do what he did to sell that product. It's gonna be clean. And you have some pimps that not gonna have a clean product. They just gonna throw anything out there to you. So you gotta be careful. So that's what I'm saying. Like, whatever your product is, that's what you stand by, and that's what you sell. Look at Anna shirts. I'm quite sure the man that make her shirts, he like, okay, well, look, I need to make it look good because she on air so I can get in more revenue. She might be the face of his company right now, but she doesn't have, she's not taken from the owner of it. So you can be a face and not take away from the owner, just like Popeyes was real smart. So just like Raheem, your branding, DKM Media Group, there's a branding there. And sometimes you have to rebrand and do things new. That's why you came up with the DKM Media Group. It didn't start off at DKM Media Group. Yeah. So it grows. And as it grows, you have to grow.
Good deal.
I love y'all.
Hey,
I'm going to call in.
All right. Tawanda, what's on your heart? We putting a lot out there this morning. What's on your heart?
I'm thinking about some food because I'm hungry.
Yeah, exactly. Do you think the approach that Popeyes took, how they got the young lady? They say she's supposed to be from New Orleans, but we know she from Atlanta here. But she's the face of the company. And when you think of Popeyes, the first thing you think about is this young lady. She don't look like the owner of the company. Was that a smart move that they did in order? And why is it good for them to do it, but it's so horrible when we do it?
Who said it was horrible?
Huh?
Who says it's harmful when we do it? I mean,
let me say that the reason why I say that, because Kurt before he left, he was telling us the example of how these young men that did the same thing in the banker, they got incarcerated. What's the difference between what they did and what our Popeye's doing? Same thing.
It sounds like the law.
Well, why if somebody break the law, then they broke the law. Then why Popeye not looked at the same way?
I must have missed that story.
Yeah, in the banker, the movie you're talking about in the banker.
I missed it too.
Oh, that's a movie.
No, it's based on reality though, Leonard. It's based on a real story.
Well, obviously, there's a difference between breaking the law and not. What law is Popeye's breaking?
But see, my thing is right here. Hold on, I'm gonna get this post here. My thing is right here. Kurt told the story. And I wish he was here so he could clarify it for us. But he told the story about the people that made the movie, the story, the banker, and it was based on a life story. And what happened with them? They got a white guy, and they went out there. He used to shine shoes in front of the building, and he went into banking or whatever, and he bought that particular building, but he used a white person's face to go in and get and obtain the stuff that he's doing in order to have the resources to get the building. They said that he did something that was illegal. Why is that illegal? And what Popeye is doing is not illegal. Both players just changed the hand on both parts.
Well, I have no idea about that movie or whatever. But one, the lady that does that for them is an actress. I'm not sure if she's even associated with the company at all, other than the fact she does the commercial for them. But see, I don't know the lady or anything. So one, there's nothing illegal about hiring people to represent your company.
But see, if that be the case, why do these guys go to jail? Because
those people broke the law in some way or form or fashion.
No, they did not. They did not. No, they didn't.
Well, I hope they got good attorneys and they shouldn't be in jail.
Well, that's a whole different conversation. But my thing is, right, they didn't do nothing no different than what anybody else is doing when they did it. You know, and then you know just as well as I do, the laws are governed differently based on who you're dealing with. Now, you know, Charlie, he can go out there and do what he want to do. He'll get a slap on the wrist. You, Leonard, go out there and do the same thing. You're gonna be in jail for 20 years. So, you know, when we talk about the law, that's a slippery slope right there. Did you get him?
It was. I seen something out of the corner of my eye. I didn't realize what it was. But you know, it's not. There's nothing
that most businesses don't do. It's nothing that's illegal. You got to realize the demographic of people who want to buy Popeyes. Everybody know we love chicken. So what did they do? They didn't use. What they did was they paid this lady. Okay,
that's right.
Be the face of the company.
See, and that's where the similarities are. That's what a huge part of the similarities, because the black people that was going after the bank, they paid this man, and Kurt was saying, I wish he was here so he could tell. He know more about the story than I do, but he was saying how they paid this guy almost 50-50 to go in and do the same thing. He became the face of the business. So if he became the face of the business and they're using him as a face of the business to do that, Popeye is using Sylvia, I think her name is Sylvia, is using her as the face of the business because of the fact that they know that it's association. And because of the fact that it's association, now black people are going to come and they're going to buy this Popeye because they're associating in their mind that she somehow is a part of this company. And that's what they're using to sell that chicken.
It's a difference between being the face of a business and falsifying documentation to obtain business loans.
There is a difference, but I can't see why they did that.
I mean, when you're talking about breaking the law, first of all, there must be a law. There's not a law that prohibits you from hiring someone to represent your company. What you do get in trouble for is if you got this person that you're hiring to sign documents who do not have the positions, or you misrepresented them on documentation. That woman that you see on the commercial ain't signing papers for Popeyes on the corporate level.
That we know.
See, this is what Sarbanes-Oxley was about. And it was about who was going to take in corporate America. The number of people that would be held responsible would be the people who signed the documents. So what happened, people became in corporate America had to understand the importance of the Sarbanes-Oxley Act, which means you could not say, for instance, the CEO couldn't claim he didn't know nothing about it because he's not just the face of the company. He's the CEO. That's a position in the company that could be used to actually takes responsibility a lot of times. So one, the company's not going to get charged with money laundering, and then they go after the girl that's the actress on the commercial. That's not what happens.
But so, I see what you're saying, and you're making a very valid point. But my thing is, I still say, to me, if you all put it in the same water clay and you mold it together, it's gonna be this. It's the same thing.
I have a friend who owns a Thai restaurant.
You say Thai?
Yeah, he sells Thai food.
Oh, Thai food. Okay, gotcha. Okay.
Guess who you see? And he's there. He's the business end of the store, but he has people that he knows from Thailand. They do all the cooking. It's a Thai restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
He's just a business partner.
Mm-hmm.
He's black,
Mm-hmm.
but he's in the Thai food business. So that's what he does there. He don't try to tell them how to cook their food because that's their part of the business. He's the paperwork and things like that, and he runs the business and he owns part of the business.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, as black people, I've seen black people come up with every excuse in the world, but sitting down, writing a business plan and doing what you're supposed to do.
And see, and that's why Black Friday is here, to get them out of that rut where, you know, they can have the confidence to go out there and do it, and confidence and knowledge to go out there and do the thing that we do. That's why we do Black Friday. We have a caller. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from? Caller, wake up and go to sleep. Caller, you there? Donald Tucson.
Okay. I'm just saying, gotta be normal. Gotta be flashy.
Go get your cash from I got some.
Oh, okay, good deal. Anna, what's on your heart right now?
I can't wait, and I've really been working on this to do these plans that I've been working on for a few weeks. And I do want to say that the guy from Elevated Shift who does do my shirts, he is Jamaican. So I support my Caribbean people with all the love in the world. And he always sends me free shirts, of course, not only to promote himself, but to thank me because I was one of his first customers and I would order in quantity for the month of whatever was going on. So he always remembers that. And you know, that's to a certain extent loyalty. Christy mentioned him, you know, before, and hey, Samori. But I just, it's just like right now I'm working some business plans and I'm listening to what everybody's saying. I would personally keep, you know, my face or somebody of my color, because I don't think that that should make a difference of who comes or goes. If you don't want to spend $1 in my business, you know, take it elsewhere. But I guarantee you one thing: I'm gonna succeed no matter what. And I wanted to ask you a question, Raheem. With DKM Media Group and Associates, what do you use as the face of your business? Is it this, like the purple background? Or is it actually Raheem Ajame that you use?
No, the logo, the new logo that we came out with, we actually transitioned.
That one or that one?
Yeah, the one that's on the screen right there. Yeah, that's what we use. That's the logo actually goes forward for us. We don't have an individual or a person.
So you don't have. So you chose to have a logo, but no matter what, you always tag yourself. And you make it perfectly clear that it is a Christian station. So you're marketing to a certain group of individuals. Mm-hmm. I'm sure that you have seen that no matter what, that's always going to grow because that's who you market to. I mean, I may be wrong, but you know, from you know what we've spoken in the past, that's what you market to. Mm-hmm. When I'm here, I try to market to the Hispanic community. You know, so. At the end of the day, would you change, you know, because I'm sorry, would you change that logo if you had to rebrand yourself?
It depends.
I mean, I'm not putting you on the spot. I'm just
no. That's what it depends on the circumstance and the situation around it, whether I would do that or not. Going forward right now, I would say no. But like I say, if something were to come about and circumstances were to present themselves where we need to do something different, that's going to be for the betterment of the company itself, then yes, I would do it.
Would you consult anybody or would you just do it?
Probably just do it.
So you would just do it because to you, it's you, who you are, right? Mm-hmm. So with what?
Not saying that I wouldn't ask people. I probably would ask a few people I would ask, but at the end of the day, I will make the decision myself.
So it would weigh out at to yourself, and I'm praying and I'm hoping that you would pray to God first. I'm just saying, as a Christian, and I know you well enough to know. Mm-hmm. But see, in the case of what I see for the future of what I'm doing or what I plan on doing, I'm not going to say what I'm doing with God being put first. I plan on working with a few people. I plan on every decision that we make it together as a community, as business partners. You see what I'm saying? And then we all figure out, okay, let's go this way, let's go that way. And
Can
I don't
say you? Can I say something to you? I
Yes,
love that. I love what you're saying, and I love the concept of where you're going with it.
I lost you. I can't hear
Now,
anything.
if you will see an individual walking down the street and he did not have a head, what would you do?
Can you say that again? Because I lost you there for a second.
Okay, if you was downtown Atlanta,
Mhm.
and you saw somebody coming towards you, and they did not have a head, what would you do?
Coming towards me and they did not have a head.
They did not have.
I see where you're going with this. But when you work a business and you're working it together and you have everyone with the same plan, same contract from the beginning, there should not be that problem at all. And we should be able to cover. I'm sorry. Did you want to say something?
Yeah, because and I don't want to go against what you're saying because you're feeling. I certainly respect that. But my thing is, there always going to be some kind of situation that's going to come about in some kind of way where a decision be made, and collectively the group may not agree. So if that decision have to be made, and if nobody makes that decision, it could be very harmful and hurtful to the. So you have to have at least one person that's going to be willing and able and capable of making a decision. And because it's a board of people, even at a board of people, and y'all quote unquote vote, there's one person in the board have 51% say so, majority stake in that company, that's going to make that decision, and hopefully that individual will make the decision that's for the betterment. But if I see an individual walking to me, that's why I say that example. If I see somebody walking towards me downtown Atlanta and they don't have a head, something's going on, something ain't right. And so there has to be that one person that's going when the chips on the table and the decision, you have to have that one person that say, okay, I've listened to all of y'all. Now this is what we're gonna do.
I understand that, but I think if contracts are from the beginning built a certain way to where you can't, you're covering all those little loopholes, to where, for example, say the three of us are in a business together, right? Three of us are an odd number, right? So obviously it's the same thing as a nonprofit. 2 out of 3 can vote each other out. Obviously, we're going to be in contract for the rest of our life, but maybe we need to rethink. And if you're doing a business deal with anybody, y'all shouldn't be arguing about anything anyway, because they should all go in one pot. I mean, and if you can't do business like that from the beginning and it keeps changing and ping-ponging back and forth, then y'all shouldn't have gotten into a business plan together in the first place.
But see, that's true. But at the same time, you got to understand situations, and in business, situations going to come about, things going to happen. Tawana, we got a couple of callers. We're going to go to the callers. Tawana, what's on your heart right now? What do you say to this?
It really just depends on your business, and that's why it's good, like Leonard said, and we say every week, to have a business plan and everything, to know this stuff should be written down before you even think about it. You need to think about who your audience is, who are the people that you want to reach, and where you can find them at. Part of the problem is, so in the business blind, they just throw up a business and then they post and they think that people are supposed to come to them. That's not how it works in business. You have to go out and you have to find these people. No.
Let me ask you this though. In that decision-making situation that we was talking about, do you think that there have to be that one individual that have the ability to make that decision if they can't come together collectively and agree on something?
Ask the question one more time.
Do you think there should be one individual in the company that have the authority, if you will? If you have a group and you're having a meeting and nobody could agree, should there be that one person that's going to say, listen, I've listened to everything that you all have said, but we have to make this decision. I'm making a decision. This is what we're going to do.
I mean, absolutely, it should be somebody within your company that's able to, outside of whoever owns it, the CEO. I mean, because you're not going to be able to, I promise you're not going to be able to attend every event. You're not going to be able to attend every meeting. So you need to have someone that's able at any time. I don't care whether it's for any of my business, any of my business partners. If I'm not there, they know that they can make the decision, but you have to be able to trust those people. You can't just have anybody in there, because what happens when it's like right now, it might be a decision, it might be for a couple of $1,000, and that's worth a few $1 million or billions of dollars. You have to have people within your company that you can trust to make these same decisions, company more than you do, and who's willing to work for your company. It doesn't work with just anybody in here.
Good deal. Leonard, what do you say to this?
Let me know exactly what it is you're trying to get, because I can't remember your question.
No, I'm asking about the and me and Anna was talking about if somebody come down walking down the streets of Atlanta, right, and they don't have a head,
something would be wrong.
Yeah, someone said it would be wrong. But and the example that I was saying is in education, in every business, Leonard, in your consulting company, you're the head of that particular company. You have other people that work with you. But in the course of that, if there's a decision that has to be made, and you go to everybody and y'all sit around the round table, y'all talk about it, and y'all can't come to a decision. A decision have to be made. You, Leonard, would make that decision, correct?
It really depends. It really depends on what it is. I would sign off on it, but I don't. First of all, let's make something really clear. I don't have an active business.
Mm-hmm.
What I do is I help people who need help.
Mm-hmm.
And I do all those things for people at no cost whatsoever.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't cost me anything to help people.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a lot of people say, well, how much does your business make? Nothing. I help my whole reason for creating Jordan Solutions was to help people cross over.
Mm-hmm.
That's what that business is about. Now, when you say you see two people coming down, something would be wrong with that, with the heads missing. And when I heard you first say it, it was so funny. It made me think of being in New York City.
Mm-hmm.
and see, she laughing because, man, walking down the streets of New York City, it is possible to run into that. Or you may walk past people with horse heads on in New York City.
Mm-hmm.
So your most extreme may be something that you're not used to. But some people, they see it every day, blah, blah, blah. And I think that's what a lot of people, and I'm going to talk about my people, because those are the people I sit with. It's so many opinions. So many people don't like this. So many people don't like that, or what have you. I know Anna from the station or what have you, but I know her heart and passion is into her business.
Absolutely.
My role may be to financially support that business.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all make the decisions. Just don't make a decision that mess my money up.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So these are the
right.
things. Business plans. I expect you to adhere to a business plan.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I expect you to at least have the confidence in yourself to move your product. How you make a good dope dealer? Can he count? Because that's what he needs to do. He got to be able to count. You can't get out here cheated on the street. So, even everything has a level of, it got twisted a long time ago, I think, with racism when it comes to how people think. Just start a business.
What's your job qualification? Can you count?
I'm just saying.
Is you have to count every which way.
Right.
If you can't count, there's a big
Is you scared to pull a pistol on somebody? Because if not, I got to send you to somebody with a pistol.
Mm-hmm.
It's catering to the business. I don't have a lot of emotion when it comes to business.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't sit there and have to be running everything and my name be on everything or what have you. That's not business. That's personal. If you want to control your business and do all those things, it's not the best idea. But when you're first starting, I've always been a one-person business. I have friends that I may consult with about issues, but a lot of it has to do with me improving myself and educating myself on what my client needs, not to judge their product. I educate myself on what it is they want to do. I don't sit in front of people and say, I don't think that's a good idea. That's not my role.
Good deal.
My role is to help you make your idea manifest into a business, or help you get started with the business, help you file the paperwork, the administrative things that go with a business. But the last conversation I'm going to have with you is all this subjective stuff about the color of this, that, and the other. That's usually not my role in the business. I'm not a big marketing person. I am into professional administrative type services. So it's your marketer who's helping you develop the face of your business that you deal with that. It's great to have a great person there, because what they have is they know what works. They have experience. So one, you have a lot of people, if you that type of person, and especially if you ain't making no money, you're going to lose your team.
Exactly. Let me keep this thing going, Leonard, and I want to say something to you, man. They're all inside in the back of your head, like it's like you're wearing it on that cap, man.
Don't worry, we'll know where it will be when the season starts, when it comes to the Falcons and your Pittsburgh Steelers, if they ever get a chance.
You better hope. Look here, you better
tell her, Kristen, we don't worry about nothing.
Look here. I remember y'all used to be the New Orleans Aints. So don't talk too big now.
We ain't gonna worry about nothing.
You come to the bags on the head. Come on, I remember the New Orleans Aints. We never.
Like them ain't turned into saints, just like some of these Christian folks ain't, but they trying to be saints.
And them Falcons still ain't, and them Steelers ain't ever gonna be again.
Hold on, how many rings y'all got?
We'll just take yours.
How many rings y'all got? How many rings y'all got?
And as a little boy, I was a Steelers fan.
Yeah, and see, they say that you're a child 2 times an adult once, right? You need to go back to being a child, think like a child, to come back over here to the Steelers so you could be on the winning team. Trying to help you, brother. I'm trying to help you.
As a matter of fact, they did a great story on Mean Joe Green. You should go check it out. Excuse me.
Yeah, exactly. Kurt, wake up and go to sleep, man. You all right?
Yeah. I just got off. I had a training meeting with Homeless Management and Information Services.
Okay, good deal. Everything good?
Yeah, man.
Kurt, if you're walking out, we talking about making the decision. You got a business, Kurt. You got your production company. And there was a couple of things on the table. Kurt. And you go to your whole staff and you say, look here, this is what we need to do. This is what we need to be, blah, blah, and you talk about it. But nobody could come together. Everybody got their own ideology as to what needs to happen. And you look at the end of the day, Kurt, a decision has to be made. Are you gonna make that decision?
Absolutely.
Why?
Because in business, you have 2 types of leaders. You have a leader that is transactional and a leader that's transformational. And it is your job as the leader of that particular business and or company, whatever, that if the 2 parties cannot agree, then you're supposed to be able to evaluate what is good about the disagreement, process it, and then make the decision and sell the decision to move the company forward. You cannot go without making the decision. I remember when I was in high school, one of my high school frat brothers, he said to me, he looked me in my face, he said, look, man, men live by the decisions that they make, be it good or bad, but you gotta make the decision. The worst part of any business's failure is the fact that everybody was scared to pull the trigger. Everybody was scared to make a decision about a given situation and or circumstance. And because of the fear of making the decision, what happened was the job didn't get done because nobody made the decision. So for me as the leader, okay, even if they are disagreeing, I listen to that disagreement. Okay, I find the good in disagreement A with disagreement B. I find the good in disagreement B with disagreement A. Then I put that together. It's called, it basically is data collection. You put it together, and as a leader having a transformational mind, you put it together, and then you come up with your own conclusion and or decision that is connected to not only one side, but both sides. And then you sell that vision. And if you sell that vision and you're able to do that properly without being biased, without going drafting, see, a lot of leaders go to the amen corner. They'll go to the corner that that supports them totally. Even if they're making a bad decision, they'll go to that corner and say, well, they right. No.
Are you speaking of Trump right now?
I'm just speaking in general, but that's what Trump does. But and a lot of people do it, man. You would find that if you walk in a lot of these businesses, right, and you just did evaluation of leadership style, you'll find that the businesses are so horrible because the leadership style does not promote the culture. You see what I'm saying? Business is a derivative of the culture. The success of business is a derivative of the culture for which the business has when it works. So if your culture is, for example, set up on a coercive nature, then that means that everybody that works for you are working for you in fear that they're going to get punished if they do something wrong, or if they go against the grain, or if you put out a decision or you put out something and it's like, dude, that don't make no sense. Everybody in a coercive style of leadership is almost being governed by punishment first. Create a comfortable culture. So now what happens? Employees like you, Raheem, Anna, L-Dog, T, Christy, good employees wind up leaving and going to your competitor because you have not made the culture comfortable. Those people don't feel like their ideas are part of the business, which means they're not going to buy in.
Good deal. Let's keep this thing going. We got a couple of callers on the line. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
Good morning.
Good morning, Bishop. How you doing, sir?
Bishop.
Good morning, everyone.
Now, Bishop, you heard what we're talking about right now. We're talking about the decision making in a business. You're a business owner, and you're walking downtown Atlanta, and you see somebody walking towards you and don't have a head. What's that gonna do to you?
Someone walking toward me and don't have a head.
Yeah, they don't have a head. I'm asking you that question for a reason. They don't have a head. What are they gonna upon sight? What that's gonna do to you?
Well, it's gonna startle me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna look at it and try to understand what in the world is this? What's going on?
Now, how long are you gonna stand there and try to figure that out, Bishop?
Well, ain't gonna be too long.
Did he say he's going to start running?
And the reason, go ahead.
It ain't gonna be too long.
Okay.
I said, no, it ain't gonna be too long. I mean, I'm like, what in the world is this? They see me telling this, you know. But what you said, I can see where you're going, and you equated to the business if you're not a strong leader.
Exactly.
Or a leader that has the mindset to move this company forward. Then that business most definitely would falter. It won't flourish like it needs. And it's so important someone in the front that knows business, has the business mindset, and has a vision. And the scripture reminds us, without a vision, our people perish. So the leader has to have a vision. He's what you call a visionary. And he then brings this vision or this thought into life. And it makes it alluring or appealing to someone that want to, come and be a part of it or invest in it. Or the products in which he's selling the services.
Exactly. Okay, yeah, we're going to get out of here in a little bit ourselves. But listen, I want to we have another call on the line. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from? I think we have Chris. I think Kristen done called in on us. Christy, you there?
I am here. You know, this Saints fan gonna always be here to take up for her faith people.
Oh Lord Jesus. Where were you? Where were you when they were the New Orleans Saints? Where were you then?
I was right there with him, baby. A real Saints fan gonna be there from the beginning to the end, just like Jesus. He loved us from the beginning to the end. Now, we might not always do right, we might not always choose the right path, but he still loves us.
Well, let me ask you this then. Did you have one of them paper bags with the eyes cut out too?
No, I didn't have no paper bag, and I was proud of my team because they did their very best.
Man, it was a long time between them wins. I tell you that. It was a long time between them.
That's all right. But you know, them Steelers, you know, they ain't gonna win until what, 5, 10 years, 20 years?
No, it ain't been that long. It ain't been that long. But look here. History tells me we got 6 Super Bowls though. That's what history tells me. But anyway, let me keep. Yeah. Let that marinate. 6 Super Bowls. You know, we ain't been losing a lot. We ain't doing a lot of losing. 6 Super Bowls. But when we're dealing with business, Christy, and like Kirk was saying, a lot of times if the head don't make the proper decision that needs to be made at that moment, and then the people that's working with them leave and go to another company to get a competition because of the fact that they don't feel wanted, they don't feel like their voice is being heard. What should that business leader do at that particular time to curb that situation so that he or she could move forward in a more positive way and be more approachable, if you will?
I mean, it's one of 2 things that a head would have to do. If you're hiring people that's not like you and sensitive, and you know, everybody has a different personality, and that's one thing about it. You have to have people that have your same personality. I always tend to go to movies because their little words and slogans always make me feel I can use them. And I remember the movie with Denzel Washington and the football team, where they were trying to integrate the football team. What was that called?
The Titans.
I can't remember the name of the movie.
Remember the Titans.
Yeah, remember the Titans. And I remember when he took them on the trip to try to join together. The quarterback told, why you ain't running? You all about yourself. You all about your team. You're not about us as a team. And he said, you know what? We reflect in leadership. So your company is going to reflect your leadership. If you're a poor leader, your company is going to be poor. If you're a strong leader, your company is going to be strong. If you're emotional, your company is going to be emotional. Your employees is going to reflect your leadership. Period. Any company you find, if you find a disoriented type boss, you're going to have a disoriented staff that's not organized. So you have to find some people that mesh well with your company. You know, if I go work with Leonard, I know I have to have a tough skin because he just, you know, as you say, he has no emotion with his business. You know, you just know that you got to be on your point. You have to be smart. You have to know. But if I go in business with Anna, then I know I can feel and have a heart. I can have some emotions. You know, we can talk, we can conversate, we can do different things. So you just have to know who your lead is. And if your lead is a person that want to make the sole decisions and all that stuff, then that's what it's going to be. But I feel that like how Rhonda said, you have to trust your business partner. If your business partner cannot make a decision without you, then your business is going to suffer. But that's just the way you choose to run your business. And good luck.
Exactly. Let me throw this in here. I want to say this to Leonard real quick, because let me pull up on the screen because I know he gonna have some kind of facial expression. Leonard, the heart is a house for love. You can hold on. Let me unmute you, man. Go ahead. What you say?
Why would you do that?
A
heart is a house for love.
That's my movie.
That's just, oh my goodness. You don't sound bad. You know, it's just alarming. You know, I have these headphones on.
Came across a little.
I was like, oh, make that stop. Hurry up. Make it stop.
Turn it off. Turn it off. Turn it off. Please turn it off. Oh, Lord.
Christy. Let it go. Let it go. You're gonna need a great minister of music when you're pastoring. Go.
Yeah, leave my Christy alone. Leave my Christy.
Look at her. She showing a better carrying on the
girl.
You ever been at church and you know, guys just preaching great, then he's singing and you be like, I'm ready to go.
Bishop.
I'm ready to go. Well, you know, he'll get to singing and just make one up on the spot on you, and you be like, you know what? I'm not even waiting for the benediction.
Look here. And Leonard just say, Bishop, I'm gonna tell you, Leonard just say, have you ever been in church and the word is coming across so good and God is using it, and then all of a sudden the pastor or apostle or bishop want to sing and mess up everything? I say, Bishop.
Oh, you know, they may have a series on Psalms, and for every Psalm, they don't have the minister of music write something and
now, God used Bishop in a mighty way to bring forth the word. If Bishop just stand in the lane and stop trying to sing, man, I'll tell you,
Bishop will hit you with one that all the musicians have to catch. Because it may not be an actual song.
He make up on the fly.
On the fly.
You know the God said.
I mean, pick a scripture and just sing it like a psalm was written in the old days in the Bible. You know,
the Lord is my shepherd.
That is too alarming in headphones.
Bishop, what's on your heart, brother? Man, hey, man, we having fun with you today, brother.
Man, that's all right. Go ahead. Oh, y'all got
I love the Lord.
I don't even have them on and I hear Christy.
Hey, look at this son. I might drop the mic. Second chocolate.
Oh, Lord. Second chocolate. That man can sing right there. That man can sing. That man can sing right there. Hey, Donald, what's on your heart, brother? Bring us back in, Donald. Bring us back in, brother.
Blessed be the
Lord.
It's time for the benediction. Let's just give the benediction. That reminds me this old preacher, he was at church and was doing just what we were doing. Had two ladies, they would come to church and they would always wear these wedding dresses, but they had to be married. Two sisters. One couldn't sing and one couldn't play. But you came to church with a little portable piano. So the old preacher got up and he said, there'll be no more singing, no more preaching, not there another prayer. That's all. That happened to me before. That's what that means. Anyway, look. Let's see if we can get back to who we were.
Let's get back.
Don't sing no more.
Oh. Okay. All right. We good. We good. Yes, sir.
You have to. This is just me now. Let me use myself for example. Okay. Stuff is going on the outside. The people that are out there, they're making decisions, they're making it happen. Okay? But if I go out there and I see something that I have to make a call, that's what's going to happen. I don't care what's going on.
Yeah.
And it's not being dogmatic, no. It's I have been put in a place to make sure that it operates the way that it's supposed to. And everybody in the company knows when I think they know that I'm going to somehow make the right decision.
That's good.
They trust me for that. They put me there for that reason. No matter what goes on, even my managers, if they say something and I change it, they will be good with that. because they know that I'm doing it for some kind of reason, for the betterment of the whole operation.
Good deal.
Why I said that is because this is just me. If I'm gonna go into business, I'm not gonna go into business with nobody that I don't trust. Period.
Yeah.
Because I need my money.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
So if somebody has an idea or a thought or something that needs to happen in a business and he brings somebody in with them, it seems like to me that's the person to trust. Let me use this for example. I'm gonna shut up. Remember when Joseph had the dream or interpreted the dream for the king? I wish I knew his name. He said, there's going to be some lean years and some, help me out, Bishop.
Hey,
you know what I'm talking about.
Hey, Don, hold on for 1 second. Somebody's
Lean
doing.
years and a fat years.
Okay, hold on. Somebody's doing something in the background. If you're on the phone, mute your line because we got a lot of background noise coming.
That was me. I'm sorry, right now. We got on music.
Okay.
Yeah, but she helped me out. Okay, some fat years and some lean years. And then he said, this is what needs to happen. So here's the king. The king said, well, we need to have somebody that can handle that. So since you saw the vision, you'll be the perfect person for it. So he allowed him to, no matter what goes on, you make the decisions.
Yeah.
Because you see it plainly. You see it clearly. And people that go into business with somebody, they have to see the one with the vision.
Yeah.
The one with the plan. And you trust that person. I don't care if you put the same amount of money in it with it. Trust it.
Exactly.
And you'll be all right.
Good.
Otherwise, you will have some friction.
Nebuchadnezzar was the king.
Anything that has two heads is a freak of nature.
Yes, sir. Or no head. That's right. Good deal. What's on your heart, Leonard?
Oh, he was just talking. Nebuchadnezzar, I think, was the king.
Yeah.
At that time. Absolutely.
Tawana, what's on your heart? We're gonna get out of here in a minute, y'all.
It's been a great show. Interesting. I don't know what happened at the last part because I heard some people singing and I don't know what.
I tried to get him back on track, Tawanda. I tried.
I'm just my thing is
What's going on?
I thought Tawanda was gonna start singing that for a second.
I stay within my lane, and that's not my lane. I start singing, you want to lose some viewers, I promise.
Exactly. And I'm just glad Anna didn't start singing. Lord Jesus, I'm glad she didn't
No,
start.
you wouldn't.
You ain't got to worry. I ain't gonna sing.
You sing beautiful. Wait a minute. Who said they sing beautiful?
This is Christy from the 318.
And you say you sing beautiful?
I do.
Well, at least one person got to say it, right?
Child, don't give up on your dream. I got.
Don't give up. Don't give up.
Mm-hmm.
Just do it. Just don't do it on here. Don't do it on here.
Don't let this be your practice section. Don't let this be your practice.
Give it up here. Give it up here.
Yeah. You can sing. Look, you can sing way on over there. 10 or 12. You can say a 10. You can say a 10 or 12 miles away from here. You sure can. 10 or 10. Sing 10. I'm gonna tell you something. We you know the reception ain't right over here. You know it's the ambiance in the building is not conducive to your voice style and your voice. You know it just don't complement it. And so it's not your singing, it's the building that you're in.
Yeah, I tell a lie so much better than that. Oh my God, you got to shorten up your lie. A great lie is brief and to the point.
Okay, that was too long.
Y'all heard me? She can market to a whole sector of different people and get paid a lot of money. So y'all better leave her alone.
You got a contract.
That's right.
She got a singing contract down at the Deaf House.
But I can't think of anything better than for Christy to be at the front desk or whatever, wherever I was going.
Yeah. Because that'll be instant laughter. I walk in and hear that singing. That's instant laughter right there.
And it'll calm me down, and I won't want to fight everybody.
Yeah.
And,
When you ain't gonna sing that song, when you ain't gonna flip
oh boy. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Amen. Amen. Amen to that.
Hey, Bishop, we need you to pray for. We need you to pray for it, Bishop. We need you to pray for it.
We need a bishop on this one.
Yes,
we need a bishop.
Exactly. We need some prayer. We need some prayer. Because I'm gonna tell you, boy, this ain't good. This ain't gonna turn out good.
Man, y'all are acting up today. Goodness.
And this ain't even Wednesday. Lord my Jesus, this ain't even Wednesday. But we're going to get out of here, y'all. It's 8:57. We're about to get out of here. This has been a great broadcast. Tawana, anything on your heart before we get out of here?
Nope.
Good deal, Leonard.
Man, no, I just want to remind people, leaving with three things about if you're going to start a business, and we were talking about the branding and everything, you really want to consider whether or not you want to be a sole proprietorship, LLC, a corporation, because that's going to help you determine a lot of the moves that you make. It's great to have a vision, because a vision always keeps you directed to where you're trying to go, because there's a lot of things going to happen that's going to try to sidetrack you.
Yeah.
But if you have a well thought out business plan, you should follow your business plan and adjust it as necessary to get to where you're trying to go. So, it's nothing wrong with ideas and talking with people and everything, but you got to be comfortable with it.
And I'm glad you said that, man, because a lot of times people think that they have to stick to the letter. They have to stick to the letter of their business plan. They think that they have to, and as the business progresses, sometimes you got to make adjustments. Sometimes you need to make those adjustments based upon the situation that you're in at that particular time that you may not have foresaw when you first went into that business. Anna, what's on your heart?
Nothing. Been some great information here today. Just FYI, so that everybody knows, they're doing the police officers are doing a press conference right now. I just saw it. It was like breaking news on the arrest of the two men that killed the runner down south here in Georgia. So just in case you guys want to watch this, I have so many things on my mind right now, and you guys just keep my mind going on Friday. God bless each and every one of you guys. Have a great weekend. I really have to go right now. I have something going on, but thank you for everything. And I get so much from you guys, just from bouncing ideas from each other. So just you guys just keep it up, and let's continue this every Friday for many, many years. I know I did. I put it down in my hands out here somewhere. So God bless each and every one of you guys. Love each and every one of you guys, and have a wonderful weekend.
I do the same. We'll be good to get out of here. Leonard, what's going on at 3:00 today?
If you did not get a chance to hear this show in its entirety, log in 3:00 p.m. DKMradio.com.
Now,
hey, Christy, you still there?
Yes, sir.
Chris, are you in a situation or a position where you can pray us out?
I'll never be in a situation where I can pray.
Come on.
Dear Heavenly Father, we come first to you honor and praise, Lord God. Lord, we just thank you for all that you've done, Lord God. We thank you for this DKM radio group, Lord God. Lord, we thank you for this family, Lord God. Lord, we thank you for all your blessings, Lord God, because even in this time, you're blessing us, Lord God. Lord God, we're nothing outside of you, Lord God. Look over those their lives that have been affected, Lord God. And Lord God, I just pray a special prayer, Lord God, over that young man that was killed, Lord God, while he was running in the neighborhood, God. Lord God, we just ask that you look on his family, Lord God. You feel their breathing hearts, Lord God. And Lord God, we just thank you, Lord God. We know there's nothing too far for you, Jesus. Lord God, we just ask that you bless everyone that's on the side of my voice, Lord God. Especially from their head all the way down to their feet, Lord God. You know their desires. You know what they're needing, Lord God. You know what they're battling, Lord God. Lord God, we just send the anointing right now, Lord God, to bless their lives and to bless their souls, Lord God. And Lord God, we'll be careful to give you all the praise and the glory in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. It's been a great broadcast. I want to thank everybody for joining us. And more than that, I want to thank you for allowing DKM Radio and the Morning Glow to be a part of your morning. It is now 9:01. You're about to exit the Morning Glow. But before you go, I want you to do me two favors, if you will. One, I want you to continue to pray for us, because we're certainly praying for each and every one of you. Number two, why this is real simple. I want you to go out there, find somebody and give them a hug, because you never know. It could be the only hug that they get, or it could very well be their last. Love you, and ain't nothing you could do about it. Have a great day and a better tomorrow. And we shine some of this light on you from the morning glow. Take this light out into this wicked and cruel world that we live in, and let your light so shine. We're going to get out of here today. Again, y'all love each other. Find somebody, give them some love. You know, in this day and time, you never know. They just might need it. All right. Love you. Have a great weekend. See you back here Monday morning.